So I feel it's important to note something at the start of this stream. JPB exists as a person and is possibly not Marigin. I say possibly because I know Marigin's currently playing something else. He could be playing two things at once, I suppose, and in the meantime, I'm going to jump straight into a game. So, let us begin. We have Viking, we have JPB, we have Smooty, and we have myself. As we do battle with Mahjong tiles to do the stuff, the things, and the things and the stuff. So, hello and good luck to you all. Let's begin then. So, this is actually a really good starting hand. If I can get that closed weight done early, this is looking quite good for Sanshku. Okay, well, toss for 9 there. Could potentially have been useful, but either way, we're looking very good for Pinfu, Dora 1, even if we don't get the Sanshku. Alright, no worries. And hello and goodbye, Mr. Jasper. Okay, if those are reasonably useful. It's third turn discard of the East after the East, so that's all good. And no development of the first 3 tiles, which is always a nice place to begin things. Oh, awesome. Okay. So do we go for the Sanshku here? I think we kind of consider things. Hi all, Smoothie, I don't know if you've been in these things before. All I ask is that you keep the stream muted while you're actually in the game, but beyond that you're allowed to comment and use the chat however you wish. And of course if you're already muted, then that's just noise that you won't hear, but just general rules for everybody else. So still potentially that Sanshku on here. Oh, okay. Alright, we'll toss the 5 here. Potentially a dodgy discard because it's quite close to Vidora, but this could be a very, very good starting hand if this comes off. Pinfu, Sanshku. Yeah, I believe you answering to that question. But fair enough. It's only because I like to explain my moves to people, and obviously that is somewhat of a disadvantage to myself if everybody's aware of what I'm doing. Mind you, on some basis, you should have an idea anyway, if you're reasonably good. Sorry. So still 1 from Tenpai. I mean, I'd take the Pinfu if I just got the 5-8 at this stage. But obviously, the big payoff would be getting that 7-man and just getting the forcing... getting 7-man and just forcing it. But let's just go with that. So, it's getting late in the hand. I'm going to have to worry about this a little bit now. 1 man doesn't help me. If I were to get the 8, would I force Sanshku? I probably wouldn't reach at that point unless I was feeling extremely optimistic. But it's now gotten to the stage where it's late in the game. You can't lose it on game 1. Well, you can't win it on game 1. You can probably lose it. And even the can't win it's not really strictly true. You could. It's a little bit of a gamble because obviously Mr. Viking here has not used a lot of Mansi tiles. They're quite expensive on the board at the moment. Against players to my left and right. So,
Eat.
Okay, reach from Smody at the back. And I think we'll cut 2 here and cut our losses. Yeah, last East, so that's all fine. Yeah, I'll break up Tenpai. It's late and I'm not expecting much of a last draw, so... Okay, Viking, though, is trying to keep the dealer turn. As you would probably expect him to try and do. I'm quite happy to fold this one, though. 8 safe against both players, so... Yeah, but he could have called it. So that was waiting on a 3-6-9. And he'd hit a double for just a dragon only. But he's still got Tenpai, and that was more important to the dealer at this stage. So, on to number 2. And this is actually not a bad starting hand. So we've got a very quick Toy Toy start if we want it. Okay, so we've got a potential Honitsu as well, depending on what happens here. But we'd like to call another one of these if we could. Yeah, we'll go Toy Toy. It's still possible Last South will get played. The East might also get played quite early as well. And if 2 does get called, it might confuse the issue of what hand I'm going for. So that's Toy Toy bonus style. Possibly double bonus style if the East gets played, but let's just see. Open Sanshikyu on my left for my JPB. Interesting to see if anyone wants to risk a 2-man right now. Heyo, Debbie.
Go.
Oh, god damn it. Alright, so I was robbed of a reasonable hand from that, but I can live with it. It's only small. JPB loses some points, Smody gains some, and he takes the lead. Toy Toy double Yakai. Yeah, get rid of Adora early. Actually, it's not Adora at that time. When South isn't the bonus tile for us, so we'll go with that. In fairness, I didn't have the Easter yet, but I had North. And Toy 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 with 1 bonus is fine. That gets me the free Han, and that's what I consider a usual sort of attack start point. Meanwhile, this hand's not as impressive as my last one. It's not as explosively quick to call, but we'll see. In many ways, my discards have been kind of abysmal. Okay, $6 isn't bad. Let's toss the East now. Who wants them? Okay, so choose call by Viking. He advances. What are we honestly looking at here? Also, we're quite a long way away unless we get some help. And I don't think that's going to happen. God darn it. So I've discarded a set there. Yeah, this has not been my hand. This has not been my hand particularly, but we'll see what happens. I get the feeling this isn't my hand. I certainly get the feeling now, because I've drawn 1 useful tile in my first 9. I might just toss for South next and just see, but we'll wait. Yeah, I'm not tossing the 3 against this board. Not happening. 3's obviously safe against Viking, but I don't... I've effectively folded from this point. Toss the 1s and then see what position we actually find ourselves in. Yeah, especially against that. That's Tanyo. Might be Tanyo Toy Toy. which is a reasonable hand as dealer in fairness.
Gone.
And that is deal in. And he obviously changed that up just before this, because obviously the free was safe there, so... Tanyo Dora. And what do you know? It wasn't my hand. Okay, White Dragon. Okay, so all the dragons are gone. Let's see if East follows. It does. So if nothing else, I've made everybody else's lives easier by discarding 3 risky tiles at the start. Looks as if none of them would have paid off, though, in fairness. Okay, West doesn't help me. Could call, but won't. It's not going to advance the hand too much. That's a good draw. So that opens up potential Sandshrew options. And we can keep going on the Nageshi Mungan plan. Okay, that's a good draw. So we potentially got the ones for pairs. We could have Pinfu Red Dora in a little bit. That might not be a bad one to grab, actually. Yeah, let's bail on... I guess it could have been helpful, but I think this is slightly better for us. Gives us a few more options with this. And if I draw a 3, I can still kind of extend, though, before a 10 if we did. Alright, discard 10. Only 1s and 2s are left. There's one of each of the 1, 2, so if we did get there, it would be a help. No, actually, there's only 1, 2 left. Okay, toss the 1s. Yeah, I probably should have kept the 4 on that basis then, but... Okay, that's worked out quite smoothly. So, some useful middle tiles here. Oh, that is a middle tile. It's a dodgy tile this late in the game, but we'll play it anyway.
Eat.
And here comes the reach. So what have I got that will pass that? Oh, the West will pass that, so we'll toss the West for the moment.
Eat.
Last White Dragon. Just taking a moment to consider things there, and that is deal in on the reach. Richipatsu. Yeah, that's a big dealer, Hanneman. There was a pause. I basically grabbed a snack, had a drink, and... Yeah, okay. JPB is now moving solidly into the lead. No one must be allowed to know. Okay, north to south here. We've got a couple of dragons in this. We've already got the Ipeco with extra Dora set up. This could actually be a really good hand, but I need to pair up. Probably the West would be best, but we've got the Ipeco anyway. If we can get to the end of this. Alright, West for the moment. One green dragon's already been played as well, so we might have to consider just tossing that in a moment. But we'd love to draw a red on the turn we do it. Okay, I call things and apparently they happen. Okay, if we can draw a 6 mana, I can get rid of a 9, and that gets us one step closer. Come on, 2 for 2. Let's see if we can force fate to obey us for once. Or twice as it happens. Okay, draw a 6. Oh, okay, that's still not bad though. Arguably I could have kept that, but I want to keep the 7 here just because it gives me some extra options on this side. Not going to do that. So if we do draw a 6 now, we're in Tenpai on the 1/4. It does that. It's only for just the voice that comes up during the whole chat thing. Do I get Chitoitsu here? I think Chitoitsu is a bit of a stretch, so we'll just toss for 2. And also, this is a good sort of waiting pattern here, the 3, 5, 7. If we draw the 4, actually, we get a... Okay, nice. Alright, let's go over that. So if you're a red dragon, if a red dragon gets played, that's dragon and in. If we draw the 1/4, we're in a 3-sided weight here for 4, 7 red.
Each.
So there you go, 4, 7 red. Yeah, and we honestly have to push JPB here. Absolutely no question. This is the best hand we've had all night, and it's got a reasonable shot at paying off with 3 weights. And I've also put the CG trap down, but is that dealing in? No. It's a loose-sided CG trap, though, because terminals are always kind of a little air with that one. Four, 7 red. Fortunately, dot tiles are really expensive right now, so I doubt either of these two are going to play them. Unless they're gambling, and the red dragon should almost never be...
Boom.
Boom! 3-sided weights, and we get the best out. So reach, red dragon, Ipeiko, and Tudora, we take a Hanuman back. And boom, we're back in the lead. North to start. It's also Vidora, so we want to make sure we get rid of that now if we're going to. So what are we looking at here? 5, 6, 7 Sand Cube? Oh, we're looking at monster hand here. Or at least monstrously quick. If I can draw anything that connects to any of these suits, we're practically there. I just need to pair something up. Nice. Okay. Tenho is a bit of a mystery. There's a couple of guidebooks I can probably link you to in a moment, but I'll wait till I'm...
Each.
Yeah, sure, why not? $5-8 for the Ipatsu Sumo. Red Dragon's a really dodgy decision there. Arguably we could have waited, but oh, okay, Vikings got a quick one. There we go. Thanks, Debbie. Although you don't necessarily need the log inside of it, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I was about to go grab, but...
Boom.
There we go. Pays off. It's only a cheap one, but it was quite quick. So reach Pinfu, no Urudura, but we stay dealer, and we grab we grab some more points off Viking, who is circling the drain. Just where we like Viking to be, circling the drain right now. Oh god darn you. Okay, abortive draw. So we basically all discarded the same North Wind there. So that basically meant that the hand is reset. We go again. It's the first time I've ever seen that happen on Tenho, but it is a rule. And I think we have a slightly better starting hand from that as well. Maybe half a step better. Well, indeed. Do I want to keep that, or do we want to hold on to it? I think at this stage we get rid of a 7 and just try to hold on to this side. Got 2 closed weights, both needing 2 on both, and no easy Yakko to go for if we call them. So maybe I break up the 1-3 here. I think we break up the 1-3. So actually we just do a useful Sozi tile. We want to limit our closed weights where possible. Okay, so luck is... I think we've exhausted our pool of luck from there, so we're now a case of trying to survive. We're still only halfway through the game. Yeah, Blast Red Dragon. And that's the second 2 you've played now. That's annoying. Also, if we'd have gone with the plan, we might have had a 1-2-3 Sands Cube, potentially. Plays another 2-man. That's a sign that my jam has expired. Yeah, if I'm drawing East again, my jam has definitely expired. So out of all this, I've drawn maybe 2 useful tiles. And even the one's not especially useful. It's an edge weight, but there's more 7s than 2s right now, so got a marginally more chance of getting that to pay off.
Home.
Okay, JPP calls north. Got rid of my closed weight as well in the process. Now it's just a case of can we get that 7, and can we get a hand? Yay! Okay, so 8-9 is probably safe there. Could call 7, but it really doesn't help us. Okay. If we draw a 7 now, that actually gives us a nice run and an extra sequence, potentially. Reach on the 6, though, is complicated, because I don't have any good safe tiles against that, really, except for 7. I guess we'll play for 7. Takes us half a step back, but it doesn't completely fold the hand. Free Suji, but I think at this stage we're happy to give up the dealer turn. Provided we don't deal in and we don't lose too many points to a sumo, that should be fine. Alright, Suji.
Sumo.
He self-draws. How big is it? Chitoitsu, 1 red Dora. Oh, that is not what we wanted to see there. Ouch. Well, so much for my winning. Okay. So I'm still in a solid second position in this position. So it's not position repetition. But he's still not out of the woods yet. He's got what? 60,000 points ahead of me, so that is not a lot in terms of things. That's 3 Han. Fewer if it's a direct hit. And while his hand's not amazing, if I can draw another 1 and another 7, then that gives me Sananko and potentially other shenanigans. Toss the 1 dot for the moment. And get rid of a closed weight. Yeah, that was a choice who had him nearly on merit.
Khan.
Okay, last place goes for Khan, and that's sort of last place's prerogative. He's so far behind, he has no choice but to try and increase the value of his hand. But yeah, imagine he's going for a Manzu Honitsu, which complicates things a little, but we'll discard the 5. Try to go around it. Second Dora. Does he want that? Or he does. So it's definitely a Manzu Honitsu. And the other thing it could be, I suppose, is a red dragon. And that probably means that JPB is in Silent Tempai. Yeah, I just said it'd be unlikely, but I don't want to give JPB points if I can avoid it here. Might even just toss for 6 and start folding against that.
Each.
Last East. And Ivory's folded. That's just incidental draw. The 4's safe though. Okay, that was quite helpful. Unfortunately, I did drew the 3 and did my usual draw discard, but I'm actually okay with that. Is that going to be game, or is he going to have to fold out of that? It might be his winning tile. I'm wondering if that's his winning tile and he's given up the win. Okay, Ipeco, if the 5 passes, AV Peiko, 2-sided weight. Although really it's only a 1-sided weight because the 9s are all out. Just trying to find out where all the 3s are. If I play a 6 right now, I'd be quite happy. Okay, what was he waiting on? He had my outs. It's quite a good hand, actually. I was probably a bit fortunate there, so yeah. Okay, so on to Smodi's turn. We have 1 door in opening hand, and we have a potential Sanshku setup. Let's go and win first, but that's fine. In this situation, I think it's thing to prioritize a bit speed. We don't need much, really. We just need to knock Smodi out of first place and possibly bust Viking at the same time. That'd probably be ideal. But it wouldn't take a lot. It wouldn't take a lot. A Mungan from here would probably near enough do it. It'd leave him on about 800. Pair of 7s. Okay, that's workable. Let's give up on that for a bit, because I've got nothing else that's going to extend on from that, and I'm quite happy to just have the extra run for Pinfu. So if I draw a 7... do I go greedy? I think we kill the closed weight here. 298, 98 is about the same odds, so I'm happy to kill that off. Got a pair of 7s to fall back on if it comes to it, but Even got a potential 2-5 weight here. So we're 2 away. It's just wherever we can actually get this. Unfortunately, he's discarded 2 8s, so I don't think there's a lot of 8s left. If we do draw the 8 ourselves, though, this looks quite good for it. Yeah, I'm going to abandon it.
1
We're 1 away from Possible Itsu, by the way. But we now have to discard a slightly dodgy tile. I mean, it's Suji, but... Alright, we'll keep it hidden. So, Suji waiting on the 7. So, for Itsu...
1
Yeah, it's not going to pass necessarily, so let's put the Siege Trap in place.
Sumo.
God darn it, I gave him 1,000 points. He takes more points from the dealer, though, so I might actually get away with that. Yeah, we lose the same amounts of points. So overall, I didn't lose too much to that, and Viking's now out of risk of just immediately failing. My Possible Itsu was finished. There, my Possible Itsu.
Home.
It was very possible, actually. I didn't need to get it to Tenpai, but, you know. Okay, so JPB needs a good hand here to come back. He can actually do it with a Hanneman. Of course, if he were to take some points off Smutty for me, that would actually be fine. Though, of course, he'd have another turn as dealer. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to build a little bit to... Well, that one was at least Tenpai. This, though, is now going extremely well here. If I can draw a 3-man here, or another 5-man, that's going to be really on Tenpai. I'm still 2 away, but there's quite a lot of tiles that get me there now. Practically any Sozu tile, probably. Okay, wrong side. Do you want to call that and go for the aggressive Tanyo plan here? I got 2 Dora.
Home.
Yeah, we call that.
Chi.
Tenpai. So we're now waiting on the 3-6-man. Oh, that's the perfect target. Yeah, Tanyo Tudora. 3,900, and that is more than enough. So I'm last dealer in first place. North to begin. So now it's all about just closing out the game with whatever hand I can get. Huzzah! Got to inject a bit of optimism. Well, I don't have to, of course, but, you know, I'm going to. Okay, so any win is practically enough here. So if we can make a quick escape, Tanyo, then that's what we want to do here. Smutty might be quick enough, though, to bypass it. And he would then need a 2-han hand. Also, we can't afford to deal into either of the other 2 players, because that's likely to give the win away. Still, we'll aim for Tanyo, because that's probably the easiest Yaku that we can definitely secure from this position. And it would be all we need, so Okay, don't necessarily need that. Let's start getting rid of our closed weights here. So 6 discards, and we're still quite a way away, really. Yay! I can't even get in the Geshi because I discarded the 8 earlier. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's toss the 8. So we've got a few pairs that we can actually call now if we wanted to. Yeah, wrong side. We can't call the 9 and still be in Tanyo, though I could take it for a draw at this stage. In fairness, though, if it's a draw and I end outside of Tenpai, well, actually, it doesn't matter if we're in Tenpai or not, we'd still get it. There's no repeat on the dealer, so there's no way we can lose more than 3,000 points to him. I guess we could technically lose 4,000 if he was the only one in Tenpai, but it seems unlikely with that call being made. Play it slightly safe and get rid of a 6. Not completely useless to us, of course, but potentially a little dodgy, but it's the only time I could have got rid of it. Chanter. So that should at least put a threat up. It's not there yet. I'm still quite a way away. Oh, god darn you, sir. I guess it doesn't matter too much, but it does mean it's an extra 1,000 points on the board if somebody else happens to win this. Which means I may need to actually attack this hand. Late potentially alive dragon, never a good thing. Never a good thing. Okay, there's the reach. So, he's the worst person we can deal into. If we deal into somebody else, there's a chance we'll get away with it, especially as there's an extra 1,000 points he's missing.
Wrong.
You had to give him that, didn't you? You had to give him that, didn't you? Oh well, GG, sir. So that ends with Smoddy breaking my 5-game winning streak as we move on. So I believe there's another game in process here. So we have Compound Derby, we have Smoddy, we have Urza, and we have Mark Fu. You had 100 points. You didn't lose. You didn't lose. That was it. You stayed in the game. You're allowed to pester. So, on to game 2. The winner of the last game staying as dealer for the moment, and I'm just going to toss the White Dragon away. No, that was quite a bad hand for you, in fairness. I mean, sometimes bad beats just happen. I mean, I hit a hot streak, and there was about 3 Hannemans in a row, and all of them kind of went against you. So Smoddy, JPB, and me all got a Hanneman in succession. And there was another Hanneman you didn't get later on in the game anyway. So I think it's more just good luck on the other side, really. But these things happen. And I've certainly gone through with my spell of loss in the past. Yeah, I'm not denying that, but it was still well played. Not that you heard me at that point, I hope, but you know. Okay, Red Dragon. So what I'd like to draw now is draw another pair of the 5, because he's looking like... Oh, awesome. See, I call things and they happen occasionally. I can only do it once per match, apparently, but, you know, I call something and it happens. I should have gone further with it and just said, you know, because I got a potential Sananko, but, you know. Ah. Well, a bit of observational fail, but in fairness, you had to go for it. I'm actually kind of inclined to go for this. So we're 1 from 7 pairs with Red Dora.
Each.
Yeah, let's go for this. It's first deal. I'm south. I'm going to be dealer from this. I don't imagine this is going to pay off. I've only got 2 outs left and could possibly have waited, but let's put some early pressure on and see what happens. If you know if it is dead and you have the ability to see that it's dead, then yeah, that's not a good wait. I mean, sometimes the hand will be dead just because somebody happens to have a triplet in their hand, and that's just it happens all the time in Mahjong, so you can't really fault that. I disagree with that, but it's potential to bump your hand up. That's the big thing here. Now, Debbie is going to counter reach. Shame she hadn't played the 6 earlier. Well, I just immediately dealt in, which would have been fairly horrific off the start, but let's just see how this goes. I would guess mid to high dot tile weight, but it happens, and I mean, nothing ventured. You either concede and wait for him to possibly draw it, or you fight it. And sometimes it's best to do one, sometimes it's best to do the other. Mahjong is very situational. There are a lot of bad moves, but there are a lot of moves that you kind of have to make. And almost everything is off the table in terms of what's a bad beat when you're in last place towards the end of a game. Because you try anything. If it's got a 1 in 10,000 chance, you'll try it. I mean, you've seen me do it in games where I was about 7 away from a Yakuman and decided that was the only way I could play. So it happens. That also is potentially good for me if a 3 comes up, but I don't think at this stage it's going to. And in fact, Debbie's going to beat me to it. She had one of my outs, and that is Reach Pinfu. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, Reach Tanya, Pinfu, Red Dora, and Dora. So, non-dealer Mungan to start. Plus, of course, the 1,000 points they lost. Okay, abortive. This happens because he's got enough terminals in his hand to cause it, so we do a restart. Ah, true. I've only been playing Mahjong long enough to know what a pin 2 is. But it doesn't help that I can't actually... I still haven't bothered learning Japanese enough to read things, which is a problem. I should probably do that, because that'll allow me to play... that'll allow me to play some of the PS2 Mahjong style games, the Tetsuya ones I'm thinking of, which still the best... Mahjong anime I've watched thus far, even though it's not really about Mahjong, it's more just about cheating. Okay, let's toss another 3. Probably shouldn't have got rid of those, but in fairness, a lot of my other draws were kind of there, and I've got a pair of 1s, so getting rid of the 1 so wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't help me towards another Yaku, at least. Okay, that's a good draw. So we're 1 from Tenpai. It's 1-6, unless I decide to get rid of the 1s, but... Okay, Urza calls off an alien wind tile. Probably looking towards the Sozu Honitsu there, based on discards, but we'll see. Alright, let's cut that across. There's an outside chance we can make this a Sanshku, so 5 for 8 switch seems a good idea. Yeah, we don't judge. A lot of people learned it from Saki, or at least tried to. I mean, as I've mentioned before on this, and a little ranty, but I liked Saki before it became all magical girls with powers. And I mean all. The fact is, a lot of the early abilities were sort of traits or habits, which were fine. I agreed with that. That was a good way to do it. And then just everybody else had superpowers. Which are only useful for playing Mahjong. Green Dragon then. So Urza with a double call here. Would you recommend Saki, or would I recommend... I've actually read through the Gamblefish manga, and I liked bits of it. A lot of the early gambles, again, were quite interesting. They were more psychological, and then it just got to crazy levels of insanity. I mean, not even realistic challenges. It was just insane. Okay, it's not the best, but we'll go with that. We might be able to change this to Sanshku still if we draw a 7 or an 8. I'll reach it, but in the meantime, we'll just stick with this and see if we get a sumo. In this case, this is not a reaching hand, because while I could do it, I've only got 2 payoffs, and neither of those are particularly good. Unfortunately, all the 8s are being discarded. Also, I've got no idea quite what Urza's up to now.
Each.
Okay, Debbie goes for another reach, which kind of puts issues on my plan here, I think.
Each.
Yeah. Reach Sanshku, we'll go for it.
Wrong.
Yeah. Had to go for it. In fairness, I didn't have any good safe tiles against Debbie, and even though it didn't end up me dealing into Debbie, that was the only move I could make from that. If you're not sure what safe things were safe, sometimes it's just best to go for it. Because if it turns out they weren't on that, then obviously I'm now in Tenpai with a good hand, and if I'd have folded, I'd have just been resigned to eventually losing it. Still, we're in last place, and that means I've got some ground to make up now. Obviously. East Dora 1, not the best of things, but could develop into... I suppose if we draw a 7, that helps. Possibly go East Dora 2. If we're extremely fortunate on the draws, we could turn this into Honitsu. Don't play the Mahjong Solitaire. Learn the game. It's a good game. It's honestly... The intricacies are quite complex. I agree with that. But I don't think the game is all that complicated once you understand how to play it. And understanding how to play it often is just getting the Yaku down and knowing how to win, how to play to win. I mean, I know I was supposed to do some Mahjong tutorial videos a while back, but maybe I should just do a Mahjong school type thing. Maybe just have a game against beginners, explain what we're trying to do in that one game, then do a quick breakdown of the entire game afterwards. I don't know. Might be a way I can do it. That was 6 dot. Okay, so we are kind of looking towards that Toy Toy Honitsu here. Toy Toy Honitsu Dora 1 wouldn't be bad at all. 7 gets played, of course, I can just steal that. Oh, nice. Okay. Think we go for this. I mean, in Tenho, you only need to know a few things here. As long as you understand what the tiles look like and can recognize what numbers the characters are on. The only thing you really need to know are basically the Pon, Ron, and Khan buttons. And this is almost Honitsu concealed, which would be ridiculous. With 2 Dora. 3 Dora, actually. This is actually a Hanuman hand already. Do I go crazy with this? We don't play the North anyway. That's not crazy enough. Even if it was open. I think open Honitsu Freedora. East is Hanneman. So if the East gets played with Ipeco. Okay, I'm not going to reach this because I think waiting on the 2-dot Ipeco isn't the best of things I can possibly do with this. And it's a big enough hand even if it's now played into. But I think it'd be better on the east side. We'll reach next tile if we don't draw anything more useful. We definitely need to put the fret up.
Each.
Okay. So 2-dot only for what is gonna be Byman. It does occasionally throw a wobbler if you try to put 2 instances of itself up. Tenho does not like 2 of itself being open. I don't think the 2-dot's going to get played by anybody though. There basically been 3 dot tiles played all game. The fact that I've even got the Tempai and a Honitsu without discarding one is quite impressive, actually. I just hope it's not Debbie, because I keep getting big hits off Debbie, and it's starting to get a little. I feel too guilty. Come on, you can play the 2-dot. Nobody's playing dot tiles. Somebody must have a triplet of a 2s. Okay, 3 more discards. 1. Nobody should risk for 2 here. Yeah. That's true. In fairness, though, nothing came out at all. Ah, well. It's fine. It's fine. I pulled a little momentum back at least, so let's just see what we can do from here. I'm just amazed that everybody folded. I'm trying to remember the last time everybody actually folded against me here. Okay, that's quite good. So we got the 6, 7, 8 Sanchiku potential now. Okay, he's got white dragons. Urza has white dragons. Okay, so that's kind of making me want to go and try and force the Sanchiku here. But of course, we still need to draw any kind of dot tiles that help out with that. That's not bad. Okay. The downside with that is it's the wrong tempo if we get the middle tiles now. So might have to just consider this and wait on a bit. Okay, that could be helpful. So a pair of 9s. Maybe we cut the east, actually. Turns into Pinfu. Problem is, somebody likely has a pair of them by now. Somebody who isn't me, anyway. think what I'll do is if I get the 8, I'll just play for the Ipeco only side of it and just see what happens. Because obviously the Sanshikyu is valuable enough to try for. So obviously 2 Han on top of Vedora. Plus reaches Mungan. That's probably not too helpful. He's not for me. It's helpful for Urza over there. And I suppose I always had the bailout plan of just going east and then going into a 9-7 weight with 1 Dora. Well, we hit it. Let's see if we can get this as we shaped it up. I wouldn't say I was smart. That's the thing. I wouldn't say it. So we're now going to wait for Ipeco Dora 1, which isn't a bad thing to just be incidentally waiting on, but we're hoping we can draw the 6 dots. I mean, even if we draw another 9 dot, that would at least give us the ability to be in Tenpai for it. If you're an East Wind, we'd also be in the Tenpai for 9-6, which should get us that far. Okay, here we go. So reach Sanshikyu, East 9. Hellweight on the 9, and hoping on somebody discarding an East. And we lost Oropatsu. And Debbie immediately counterattacks. Oh, this is starting to feel bad. In fact, I'm out of 9s, aren't I? God darn it. Right, so I can only now win on the East, which feels like a really, really bad weight right now. I mean, if it had scared some people off, I'd have taken it, and that would have been fine. I'd have gained 3,000 points, built momentum up in 1 turn close to dealer. This was not how I drew this up.
Gong.
No, he didn't have my weights, and Urza picks up another victory and moves slightly closer to Kung Pao Debbie, and I move into 3rd place out of all that. Okay. White Dragon to begin with, then. So we're in the South 1, second half of the game, 3rd place, 1,500 behind the leader. Sorry, 15,000 behind the leader. Only 1 more order of magnitude out. And that's another good draw. I would prefer to get any of these closed weights filled up, though. And I mean, again, we're going to go in for the high-end stuff here and looking towards Sanshikyu, which has so far not worked. It's been our failure every single time up to this point, but it feels like our best direction to go in. Maybe going for the 6-7-8 Sanshikyu rather than the 7-8-9, but okay, red 5's a good draw, so that gives me... Alright, that moves us on to Pinfu quite nicely, but I still have to get rid of the West. Maybe I'll actually dump the West here and try and go for hand value here. Although it is only South 1. I'd be dealer if I won, so... Okay, no, that draw means we now swap plans and go for this. Hey, 9, don't mock the 9 Qs. I mean, they immediately go to 7 Qs, but, you know... Okay, that's looking okay. So that gives us a couple of pair options. Also gives us the potential option of discarding the 8-9. not sure what else we can really do from here. If we draw 7, then we'd be in a 7-4-9 weight, which isn't a bad one to be on. That's a multi-sided thing. Had the option of carning there. That would have been a really terrible idea. Well, maybe when I'm less tired, I'll do some actual
G.
some actual workshop-y type things. I mean, I'm honestly kind of serious about trying to teach some people Mahjong, because there's been a few new players on recently, so it'd be good to actually have possibly a separate thing in a Discord chat or something, just so we can have a game, randomly discuss things, and then I can do direct feedback analysis, which I'm not the best at, in all fairness, but if it's going step by step, I can probably at least see the potholes, see where you know, ask you at least why you made certain decisions, you know, that sort of thing.
Boom.
Still need this down 7 to turn up, and it's just not doing it, is it?
Boom.
Okay, so what have you actually got? You got Tanyo, Dora 4. Dealer, Tanyo, Dora 4. I've given that as well, haven't I? Too safe. Well, the 8 dot is also safe, so if I can actually draw this 7, I'm in the pound seat. One is not safe, but it should be against that type of hand, in fairness, so... I mean, would I go for it if he just played the 7 now? I don't know if that's better or not, but it at least gives me the option of possibly swapping out the pairs. Also gives me a potential other way to win. So I can toss the 8, go for a 7 only. I'd be Tenpai for that, but... Nah, I think we're at the point of mostly folding here, because I don't think it's going to happen. South. South's fine.
Boom.
Late White Dragon. Debbie goes into Tenpai. Can I hit Tenpai from here?
G.
Yes, I can hit Tenpai. No high day draw for me, but I at least stay Tenpai and I gain some points. God damn, those points are important. So I went around the houses and gained 1,000 points. Stayed with the dealer. Once again, Sanchiku has failed me. I don't know. I get possible Itsus and the never arriving Sanchikus. Just taunt me every single game these days. Every single game I've had pretty much today has just been, you've got a near Sanchiku. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. No, you can't. Yeah, well. Let's just see what happens. Well, he's in last place. He needs something. Well, I'm a long way behind Urza, but it's as long as I'm sticking with him, it's all good. I'd love to draw a 3 just so I can incorporate one door into this darn hand. And the 4th White Dragon. Okay, we'll kill any possibility of a Sand Cube by getting rid of that. And move on to my other preferred Yaku. Itsu Chinitsu with all the Dora. But unfortunately that's not the way around this is going, so... That being said, I'm never going to complain at having 2 Dora in my hand, especially when I need some points. Well, it's fine if you get what's going on. I mean, obviously I'm here to ask questions of, provided it doesn't do stuff. Also, you're not supposed to be hearing me talk during these events, Mr. Smody. Given nobody's mentioned Sanchku recently. What am I even doing with this? I really don't know what I'm doing with this. Alright, let's go with that. There's a chance I can get this Adora free, so... And if I draw a 9, that gets me into a double thing there. Okay, wrong time. It might be, but still. I'll say benefit of a doubt, but that did seem like a reply to my Sanchku comments from earlier. Yeah, that would have been a fine thing if I'd have drawn it, but I didn't. Yeah, no worries. God darn it, if I'd have kept both 9s, I'd have been in business now. Alright, I have no jam right now. I need to somehow reinvigorate the jam. The things Mahjong makes me say. But at least it's better than bear puns. Nice, okay. So we're 1 from Itsu. But the question is, do I go for the 1-8 weight or do I go for the 6-9 weight, or do I even get an option on that? Or do I just go for the Tenpai?
Each.
Yeah, we go Tenpai here. Reach Dora is definitely not something I can complain at the moment. Ones were quite pricey and there's 3 9s out, but... Oh, god darn you! Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm and I take the win. But, god darn it, I lost my Itsu. That was absolutely abysmal. Okay, so I am dealer. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is toss the West Wind. So we're now within a Mungan of Urza. In fact, oh, that's very good. Okay, how do we want to play this? I think we go and cull the 6-2 for the moment. I know the 6 is definitely the closest tile and should definitely be treated with a little more respect, but the Sozi tile is the closest to Vidora, so... We'll see. That's not a bad draw either. So we've got plenty of bonus tiles potentially on side. One set already set up. And really, at this stage, we just need a good hand. Or any hand, actually, come to that. Okay, that's helpful. So toss for south for the moment. Because there's a double south on the board in Urza, we want to make sure that gets rid of immediately.
1
And that is a reach. And we're still quite away from this. Also means the red dragon is now practically impossible to play. Alright, was also on Norths. That is a problem.
4
And that is dealing in. So Richibatsu... Oh, Richipeiko, rather. Yeah, Richipeiko, 2600. That steals the dealer turn, puts him slightly further out of range. And now suddenly... I need to hit him for a little bit more. Now, I don't mind more German in the chat. I need Marishan here to translate it, but I don't mind more German in the chat. I suppose also, if we were to hit a Mungan now, we'd still overtake, so... Mungan Sumo is definitely enough and would get us there. Mungan direct hit obviously wouldn't, for anybody who wasn't Urza, but... I think Mungan Sumo is the way to go for this. Though probably not with this hand, the way it's gone right now. Especially as I've just dropped 2 green dragons. Okay, what's us to 4? Probably not the best of discards from that position, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, probably get rid of this 9-7 next if it comes to that. And the hand just does not have any value. That might help. But we're relying on that old nemesis of ours, Sanshoku. Though, in fairness, the rest of the hand looks quite easy to get to pin to, at least, so... Yeah, especially with that draw. Okay. So we're not far away from Pinfu Sanshku. Probably have to cut the 3-4 here, so unless we get the 5 on the side, in which case we give up on the Sanshku altogether and just get rid of the Sozitars, I guess. Do I want to keep that? Actually, yeah. It's possible that I can swap it back to Pinfu, but it also gives me the possible Khan option. God damn it. Ah, this game is trolling me, I swear it. Okay. Should have got rid of the 1 pin, but oh well. Alright, just get rid of that entirely now, because otherwise it's going to clog up and I have to worry about for a 10 later, and I don't really want to do that. So now this hand has basically no value unless I get a Khan. And now it's got basically no chance of happening. 1 white dragon played. Let's toss that. 6 man is not safe, though the Suji just passed. Twice. Won't risk that just yet, though. Wouldn't mind Smuddy taking some points off Urza here if we could. Okay, we know 1.'s safe, so we'll have to fold for the moment. Well, partially fold. Okay then. Well, that's got us around that problem. What we then need is a 7 or... Okay. What we need now is a 7 or the... Something else to pass here. Oh, god darn it. Oh well. Yeah, panic. He played Sozu earlier. That's the only reason I went for that, although I don't think the free is safe at all.
1
Yeah, we're out. Which is a pain, but we are now out. Okay, so we move into South 4. I've again lost points. Gap remains to Urza at Mungan required. And that's not a bad setup. Potentially 2-3-4 Sanchiku. Fortunately not Vedora, but... Now let's just see how this goes. Reach, Pinfu, Sanchiku would be Mungan, so... Reach, Chitoitsu, Sumo would be 9,600. Unfortunately, I'm not getting most of my points from him anymore, but it would still be enough if I got a Sumo 9,600. Arguably, I should have got rid of the 8-pin there, but... Too bad, indeed. Okay, so we're back to the 1-2-3 Sanchiku of death. How do I want to play this? Alright, I'm going to play badly. I've decided that now. I'm going to play badly. Because that is the absolute worst discard I could have made there. I should have really discarded 4-so if I was going to do anything like this, but... And if I was going for the 7 pairs still, I should really got rid of the free first, so I'm just now going off the map. Don't mind me, do not use this game as an example of what to do during a game, but just let's see what happens.
1
What's happening is an extra 1,000 points on the board, which is never a bad thing, and dear God, is this 2-3-4 Sanchiku now going to start coming up again? I don't even know anymore. Alright, let's just the free. I didn't even check to see if that was safe, so that's where I am at the moment. I'm too tired to play. Too tired to play, and I just drew the 5 ban. Oh, fine, whatever. Double Dora, go. I need to hit Mungan Sumo here, so... If I'd have kept all that, that would have been quite a good little sequence and set to have, wouldn't it?
Sumo.
There we go. Game over. Reach Sumo Pinfu. Tanyo. I finished in second again. Urza has the lead. Smuddy remains in third, but did not get enough to overhaul me. So that's the end there, and I am going to now fall over into a coma, I think. No, honestly, I just lost concentration completely in that last game because I just did so many silly errors. If you want to have another game, feel free to have that. I'll try and make sure I can record the results onto the tracker, but I am now at the point of falling over dead. So I will catch you all possibly tomorrow for another game. Not sure whether I will, but I might end up doing things. You probably should have, in that case, actually just reset the hand rather than carried on, but well. I will say goodnight, and I will catch people another time. So until then.